Welcome to True Crime and Story Time. I am your host, Christy, and here we talk about a true crime or story that either you've recommended or one that I've been personally interested in. So here we are on episode 7, part 3 of the Darrell Brooks trial. I'm going to tell you guys this is going to be the last one because I know we can only be interested in things for so long before it's like, okay, something new. So this is going to be the end of the Darrell Brooks series. I'll see if there's another, something big that I could do a series on, whether it is a true crime or a story time. But for now, we are just going to get right on into it.
Avoid the commentary when the jury comes out, or you will forfeit your right to be present.
I didn't say nothing. You.
Before we do that, there's an issue that we do need to take up potential as to a witness by the name of Abel Lescano. He has prior criminal history.
Thank you.
So as long as the jury's out, we should probably discuss that. I would like to provide the defendant and the court with a copy.
So that had to be said. So it's the defendant.
That's not how it was said.
That was how it said. You want to run the record back?
Mr. Brooks.
So I'm the only one. I got one.
Mr.
I got
Brooks.
one ear that work, and I heard that.
This is to benefit you, so
No,
that
it's
you
not.
understand
Ain't none of
your
this to benefit
witness
me, so let's
has
be
a
clear about
prior
that.
record.
Your Honor, when I leave the table, I'm away from the courtroom and I have to elevate my voice. This is the
So she had to
alleged
elevate her
record of
voice
Abel
just for
Lescano.
that.
Stop talking.
Come on, man. Like, I don't know who y'all be thinking y'all fooling. I accept the value in return for value this document.
One more interruption and you're going to be removed to the next courtroom.
That's what you want to do anyway.
It's not what I want to do. Do not interrupt Attorney Opper.
So can
Your
you
Honor,
tell,
I
can you
believe he
explain?
has 7 prior criminal convictions via OWI 2nd from 1997, and OWI 3rd from 1997, and OWI 4th from 2003, criminal trespass to dwelling from 2006.
Right, I need to take a break. This man right now is having a stare down with me. It's very disrespectful. He pounded his fist. Frankly, it makes me scared. And we're taking a break.
It was honestly only a matter of time before somebody said defendant like that. This entire trial, he's been saying alleged defendant. No, you are not alleged. You are the defendant. So, I get why Attorney Opper did that. But look at this man. Look at him. That is so threatening. He looks seriously evil, and then we wonder how somebody could do what he did. Look at his face. I'm sure, given the opportunity, he probably would have attacked the judge. I'm a little disappointed, though, because she took a break. She didn't hold him in contempt. There were no penalties. She didn't have him remanded by the bailiffs. She just let him do whatever he wants, literally throughout this whole trial, I feel, and it really does bother me. How do you think the family of the victims feel, or the victims themselves? It's like a 3-ring circus, and he is the main act. But this is their life, and they're the ones suffering. And yeah, I get it. She made it to where he would probably never be able to win an appeal, but at what cost? Because I still feel as if this man has completely made a mockery of our court system. And so when I say, there needs to be some kind of reform, I mean in a sense where criminals have to be held accountable. Not just, okay, you're in jail, we bail you out, you go on about your business committing more crimes over and over again and hoping for the best. This man is a true menace to society, and had something really been done, he never would have been on the streets that fateful day. So there was an interview done with Darrell Brooks' mother, and she goes on to say how, she doesn't watch the trial, and I honestly feel like his mother may have enabled some of his behaviors, maybe maybe he didn't have a lot, or, suffered from his mental health ailments, made it complicated for him to deal with things and people. And I think that may be part of what we see in this courtroom and why he feels as if he could behave the way he does. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But what I will do is let you guys watch the clip of Darrell's mother being interviewed, and you guys can make your own determination, I guess. I mean, there's not really much you can determine from this, but just kind of hearing her talk, you may get a sense of the type of woman she is. Probably help you get a sense of the kind of mom she was. It's possible.
The state made arrangements for them to be here. Whatever order you want to call them in this morning is fine, but those three are here.
That's what I was trying to address right now. I was asking
Okay, go
about
ahead.
the
What do you
name.
want to address?
The Kohler. How do you pronounce the name? Kohler. I'm
I
still
don't know.
having
You'll
trouble.
have to ask the witness.
I'm still having trouble finding the file for that particular witness.
Yeah, call the jury in.
So I don't know how I'm supposed to.
Mr. Brooks, you were well advised. These are your witnesses that the state made arrangements. You knew who was going to be called. I put that on the record yesterday. So of those three, whatever order you want, but I'm not moving past those three to jump to others.
I didn't say anything about moving past the three.
I know that. I just set the tone for today that we're going to keep moving.
Okay, I simply stated I'm not ready to ask that witness questions if I can't even find
I
your
understand,
paperwork.
but that's you not having your paperwork's on you, not anybody else.
So what am I supposed to ask him?
I can't answer that, sir. You know that.
That's a rush to judgment. You can't rush me to judgment when I'm notifying the court that I cannot find the record.
Well, you
I
did
can't
very well
find
yesterday
the file
without your
for
file,
that.
so
I'm saying
I
that
don't think that's the
particular
issue.
witness.
I'll make a record. Yesterday you asked the question, hold on a second. Can you have them step back out? Just thinking. Yesterday, said you did not have a file for one of the witnesses, and you did a fine job from my perspective. So
I did what?
You did a fine job. I just
Yeah,
want to
but
say my
they
assessment.
also
You did a good
provided me
job.
with one sheet for that particular witness at that time. So I
I'm
just went
bringing
off
the
of that
jury
3
in.
paragraphs.
How you're prepared or not is solely on you, sir. You've had all of this information. Now we're at the end of the 3rd week of trial. These are your witnesses. I presume that you are prepared in whatever way that is.
How
You're
can
not
I
gonna
be
hold it
prepared
up.
for? I'm not. So the witness is just supposed to get up there and I'm just like,
I'm
yeah.
not going to have this commentary. Okay, I'm done. The jury's coming out. Be prepared to call
So
one of the
that's a
three.
rush to judgment.
That is not a rush to judgment.
It is a rush to
Again, I'm
judgment.
done. The jury's
It's clearly
coming
a
in.
rush to judgment if I'm telling you that I don't have the
No,
file.
in my
How am I
opinion,
supposed?
you're attempting to delay. So
No,
let's
I'm not.
keep
I'm not
going.
attempting to delay nothing. You want to come check the boxes yourself? You always trying to pull some fast maneuvers.
Mr. Brooks,
And Miss Judge, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, the jury's coming in.
Yeah,
Show
and
respect to
they
the
deserve
jury.
to know this too. It's still issues that need to get addressed. We didn't even address everything.
Mr. Brooks, I addressed all of the issues.
No, I
You
still
know
had
it.
another one that didn't have nothing to do with nothing we just talked about.
All
There was a
right.
whole nother issue that needed to be addressed that I needed to
And we'll
bring on
address
the
it
record to
later.
your attention.
We'll address it later.
It needs to get addressed now before we go any further because it's an important matter. Just like the subject matter jurisdiction is important. That hasn't been proven on the record.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
Just
this
like
is
the
not
rest of the
the
judgment.
time for evidence to be presented or arguments to be made by the
I
parties.
can't
The
even
jury
present
will
any evidence. You won't let me even put
disregard
any evidence in the record.
all of these
Which
statements
is a
made
rush
by
to
Mr.
judgment.
Brooks
That's
at this
unfair.
time. All right.
That's unfair what
The
you're
court
doing.
will address legal matters outside the
Then we
presence.
need to
Everyone
address
can
the
be
legal
seated.
matter that I was trying to get to before
And
you
you
rush
may call your
everything
next
out.
witness, sir.
I'm not calling any witness until I get an answer, Your Honor. You're a public servant.
Mr. Brooks,
You're supposed to be able to answer simple questions.
Mr. Brooks,
if I'm saying I have to bring
call
it to
your
your
next witness,
attention,
please. That's the stage that
I have
we
to
are
bring
at.
it to your attention, Your Honor.
Mr.
I'm
Brooks,
really seeking
please
to bring
stop.
an issue to your attention.
I'm telling you to please. I'm asking you to please
And
stop.
I'm asking you,
because
can we
we have the
address-
jury present.
I'm asking
and
you-
we need to continue with the evidentiary phase of this trial. Call your next
I'm
witness.
asking you to address a legal matter, as you said that those have to be taken up outside of the jury.
I will
There
do
was
that
a
at the
legal
next
matter-
break.
There was a legal matter that needed to be addressed beforehand,
I
so
will
we
do
don't
it.
have to take up time,
I will do
valuable
it at the
time
next break.
afterwards to address something that needs to be addressed now. That way,
Mr.
the
Brooks,
court and you
for the
yourself are
third
on
time,
notice.
I will address it at the next break. Call your next witness, please.
Are you asking me?
I'm directing you to call your next witness.
Your Honor, we're not going to move past this, seeing as how you took an oath to protect the Constitution. I have your oath. I have a copy of your oath. right here, the oath that you took, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, I'd like to continue with testimony.
Sir.
We have witnesses waiting for you. Please call your next witness.
The oath that you swore to protect the Constitution, which you are now not doing.
Mr. Brooks,
So you're going
call your
against
next
your
witness,
sworn
please.
oath. You're going against your sworn oath.
Mr. Brooks, call your next witness.
As you notify the jury every time when there's legal matters, we take them outside of their presence.
And we're going to take testimony right now. Call your next
I
witness.
merely seek to put you on notice, on the record, for something that needs to be brought to your attention and to the court's attention.
And I will address it at
That's
the
what
next
I'm
break.
really seeking to do. It's something that shouldn't have to wait because it'll take up valuable time later. At least if I notify you right from the onset, you'll already know what we're looking at, and we can nip it in the bud before everything starts to roll.
Mr. Brooks, I will address it at the next break. If you want to write something down, that's fine, and give it to my clerk. I have nothing in writing. I know there's witnesses available and ready to go. Call your next witness.
Your Honor, Your Honor, you have to answer this question. You're
Mr.
making a
Brooks,
judicial determination.
Call your next witness, please.
You're rushing me to judgment, Your Honor.
There's no rush to judgment.
There is
here,
a rush
sir.
to judgment. If you won't address a legal issue that I informed you that I had some legal issues that needed to be addressed before you just run right past that, Your Honor. You're a public
Mr.
servant.
Brooks,
Are you not a
it
public
is
servant?
9:37. Call
It is
your...
8:37.
Sorry, 8:37. You're right. Call your next witness.
Your Honor, you're rushing me to judgment.
There's no rush to judgment. Call your next witness,
We had
please.
a legal matter that needed to be addressed, and I'm merely trying to
And I'm
notify the court.
Telling you
at
I'm
the
denying the
onset-
request to address it at this moment. Call your next witness.
You said what?
I'm denying your request to address it at this moment. Please
How
call.
how can you deny
please
something that we're supposed to do before
Mr.
the jury
Brooks.
even comes out?
call your witness.
I'm not seeking to be disruptive. I'm just seeking to understand why we do this
Everyone
every day.
is in the courtroom waiting for you. Please call your
Your
next
Honor,
witness.
we do this every single day. We've done it every single day. So I'm simply trying to make sure that the court is notified of
Put it
things
in
that need to
writing,
be
hand it to the
discussed.
bailiff, and if I deem it important enough to interrupt the witness, I will, but call your next witness.
How can I call a witness and write something down and do
You can
both?
take a minute
This
to
is the-
write down what it is.
This
I'm not
the
asking
reason
you
why
to...
it needed to be addressed beforehand.
Mr. Brooks,
That way
the
it
jury
doesn't
is
become an
remaining in
issue.
this courtroom. Call your next witness, please.
Your Honor, you're rushing me to judgment.
There's no rush to judgment, sir.
Are you not a public servant, Your Honor?
Mr. Brooks,
Do I not have your oath of office?
under
3 of them?
90611, this court has the authority, as you know.
Do I not have,
Call,
is this not a copy, or I asked for certified copies that you said on record that you would not provide for no good reason, that these are three
sir,
of your
you are
oaths
doing this,
right
and I've
here.
repeatedly told you, you can see the jury's here. You're doing this.
Listen,
we
Your
need
Honor,
to go
I'm
forward.
I'm not attempting to delay the proceedings. I'm not attempting to be disruptive. I'm merely trying to notify Your Honor in the court for the record beforehand. That way, everyone's at least on notice of the issues that need to be taken up, instead of waiting until a break or a lunch and things of that nature, which
In
kills
my
valuable
discretion,
time.
it's my authority, it's the courtroom that I'm
Your Honor,
presiding over. I'm not going to address
is
that
this-
at this moment.
is this not your
and
oath?
I'm not going to answer
Did you not
questions.
swear as a public servant that you would protect the
Mr.
United
Brooks,
States Constitution?
call
Did you not do
your
that?
witness.
3 times. I have all of them. Here, your oath, Your Honor, as a public servant. And
Mr.
now you're
Brooks,
rushing me to judgment
there's no
when
rush
I'm
to
doing
judgment.
things lawfully by trying to notify you and notify the court of issues that need to be addressed
Mr. Brooks,
beforehand.
we are in
These
the
were issues-
evidentiary phase of this trial.
Your Honor, you're
Call
rushing
your
me to
next
judgment.
witness.
You're rushing me to judgment, Your Honor. And I object
I'm
to
aware
that.
of 3 witnesses
I
who are
object-
here.
I object
Call
to
one
that.
of them, please.
Your Honor, I object to that.
Your objection's noted.
And
for the
I
record.
want a legal reconsideration of your ruling. If not, I reject that ruling and take exception to that ruling.
I understand.
I request a legal or factual basis for your ruling, a written judicial finding of fact and conclusion of law for your ruling. And if not that, an interlocutory, declaratory appeal for this matter. And if not, these needs need to be stayed until this matter is before a adjudicated court of competent jurisdiction. Because we have not proven jurisdiction in this court as of yet. Subject matter jurisdiction has not even been proven on the record, Your Honor. I don't even know the true nature and cause of
Mr.
the charges
Brooks,
against me. I don't even understand that part
I
of it.
understand
I haven't
your
been
request.
provided a complaint. I haven't, Your Honor, there's so many issues.
Mr.
and
Brooks,
I'm not
we will
attempting,
take-
I'm not attempting to
Mr.
be
Brooks,
disrespectful in any way.
we
I'm
need
not
to
attempting
continue.
to delay the proceedings
Your
in any
requests
way.
are denied.
Your Honor, I
And I'm going to
respectfully
instruct the
object
jury
that.
at this point to
I
disregard
respectfully
and not
object to
consider
that, Your
any
Honor.
of what has just happened since you walked in. It should not be held against Mr. Brooks in any way. These are legal issues that this court may or may not need to address. but they do not bear in any way on ultimately the issues that you as jurors will have to decide. And I'm instructing you to disregard what you have just heard and seen.
This man, he's exhausting. All right, I'm going to start tackling stuff because I've had enough, okay? So he's not in bankruptcy court, right? He's not in traffic court. He's not in juvenile court. He's not even in family court, which means he's not wills and probate. So he would have to be in criminal court, right? Which means he would have to be a criminal judge, right? Well, there's subject matter jurisdiction, okay? And then to say that he doesn't even understand the complaint against him, but you chose to be your own attorney. That's not making any sense to me. This rush to judgment, you guys, I really had to look it up, and I'm just going to read it verbatim, what I found, because I'm not an attorney. Rush to judgment is a conclusion reached hastily and informed by incomplete information. All trial long, literally everything was rushed to judgment. Where? Like, how does that even, I told you guys he was, nope, don't say that. Sorry. Told you guys, he's not all there, right? He's a little on the slow side. Well then, okay, I was in the Army and we had what we like to call barracks lawyers, right? And those are the people that would tell us like, oh, they can't court-martial you because AR blah, 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 blah states, right? I think he probably has a jailhouse lawyer because the way he was reading, you know, whenever he did his objection and she was like noted and he was like, and if I don't get this, then I want that. And he was reading something. He either copied it straight from a book or he really does have a jailhouse lawyer. If you're going to have a jailhouse lawyer, my guy, get a public defender. They may work better. He's still with the behavior though, being disrespectful. He knew what time it was. You know what I'm saying? And then for him to say, oh, I'm not trying to be disruptive or hold anything up. That's exactly what you're doing. You're bringing up the same things over and over and over. And it's getting you nowhere. Quite literally. But to each his own, right?
Watch the proceedings because, well, it's just too difficult. She says she feels her son is what she says a freak in the sideshow. Here's what else she has to say. What message do you have for the families that are left of the victims who died?
I just want them to know that that was not a deliberate act.
But the video shows him going and not stopping. How some people will ask, how is that not deliberate?
I asked him that question. And he said, Mama, I don't know. He said, I don't know what I was doing. I don't know. He doesn't know. He can't answer that. I wished the police could have shot out the tires, something. But he can't tell me, and I can't tell you. Only God knows.
Is he remorseful?
We talk about the families often and the victims. And he says to me that he prays for them too. And he has to live with the fact that 6 people died because of him. He's full of shame.
Do you feel responsibility that...
Yes. If I would have just not bailed him out, none of this would have happened.
If he feels remorse, why the antics in court?
The antics in court is mental illness.
Is there anything you can say to tell him to stop?
I have told him.
Will you continue to?
I will continue to tell him.
You think Darrell should go to prison, and if so, how long?
There should be some accountability to what he did. Yes, ma'am. How long? That's not for me to say.
So while how long she said he should serve prison time, again, she doesn't know, but he should be there. She also would like something else for his son if he's sentenced. You're going to hear the answer to that and much more from Darrell Brooks' mom right here on Sunday night on Fox 6.
I would love to say that, his parents raised him right and, this is just who he is. But even his mom makes excuses. Like, this is a true enabler. It wasn't intentional. But then, as the reporter stated, you can see him clearly plowing right into people. Like, I'm going to say as a mother, okay? I don't see myself making excuses for my children's behaviors if they act a certain way. And I know for a fact that both of my kids watch my videos. They're grown. So, of course, they watch my videos. But they can vouch. I don't make excuses for my kids. If my kids are wrong, I'm going to call them out on it. I'm going to say they're wrong. And whatever consequences, those are the consequences that they're just going to have to face. I'm not going to be in front of a TV screen crying, I don't know. No. That is part of the problem in our world today, as it is. Too many parents are sitting up here making excuses for their children's behavior, whether they're grown or not, and never holding them accountable for their actions. I'll be damned if I ever allow my children to behave in such a way that it's causing people life, limb, and eyesight, and then I make an excuse. Oh, it wasn't intentional. I get it. Accidents really do happen. But baby, that wasn't an accident. That was his deliberate evil nature being displayed for the entire world to see. And I get, as a mom, you want to believe the best in your kids, but call it what it is. You can't look at something circle and say it's a banana. You know what I mean? Like, and then she can't even watch the trial because it's too hard. He's like a 3-ring circus. Well, he is a clown, honey. That's what you raised. Now, I'm not saying that growing up, that's how he was raised. But what you're displaying right now is this clown is the victim. And that's not okay. Why don't you show some empathy to those families and actually apologize? Say, I'm sorry that my child felt the need to hurt and or murder people in your families. If I could take the pain away, I would. I didn't raise my child to be that way. And leave it at that. But to sit on national television and say what she said, that is inexcusable as a parent. To make matters worse, his mother also goes on to say that they've known that something was wrong with him since he was 6 and that they've had him in therapy for a number of different things, or at least this is what a newspaper article is stating. If you knew that something was wrong with your child since they were 6, you fight, you advocate for your child. I know this firsthand. You don't just stop and give up because they're getting older and they're making decisions on their own. If you know that you have a special needs child for whatever reason, you do what you can as a parent. This is part of the failure. They didn't do everything they could. 6 years old, if he wasn't getting the help, You take him and you put him in an institution, not permanently. Let's not, get all upset and, leave negative comments. But if you put a child in temporary placement at a mental health facility, that gives them time to talk with your child, figure out what is actually going on with your child. They're able to do medication management before sending them home, a number of different things. But what you don't do is let him impregnate a 15-year-old girl and try to run her over with a vehicle after beating on her, and then continuously catch charges for violent and non-violent crimes. It's almost as if this mother does not want to accept responsibility for the things she didn't do. And granted, there are several parents that don't know the resources that are out there, and there probably wasn't that many at the time. But as a parent, one thing you don't do is stop fighting for your kids. And I am a firm believer in that. I uploaded this portion of the clip just because it states that he has an 8-year-old child. He wouldn't hurt a child. He was not in his right mind and wasn't intentional. He didn't mean to hurt nobody. He knows nothing about the city of Waukesha. Look, don't come for me, okay? I've heard it said so many times, and I'm so tired I can't remember. But if you guys remember in part 2, some of Ms. Patterson's testimony, he was stating that he did know the city. So his mom says he doesn't, but Ms. Patterson says he does, and he didn't refute that he didn't, which would only make it seem like, there's just more excuses, right? Like she's just making more excuses for her son to not be looked at as the bad guy. But then Mary Stoker asks, but the video shows him going and not stopping. How is that not intentional? And you guys heard her respond. I don't know. I asked him. I don't know. It's clear that this mom is in denial. She needs a lot of help. I don't know any other way to say that, like, she needs something to help her open her eyes. Just because somebody has an 8-year-old child, that doesn't mean they won't hurt another 8-year-old child. Now, I'm not going to say that he targeted that baby and that he ran him over on purpose. No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is he targeted a crowd because he refused to stop. It's not like his brakes went out, the car malfunctioned. Nothing like that. What he did was 1,000% intentional, and he deserves to rot in hell. So they go through the whole trial and everything. The defense rests, the state rests, and now it's time for closing arguments. You guys are in for you're in for a wild surprise. If you thought his antics couldn't get worse, watch this next clip and let me know what you think in the comments down below.
Remember the power that you have. Don't for 1 second let it be taken away from you. I can never understand the position of sitting on the jury in something of this magnitude. So I'm sure there's a lot of pressure. I pray that the right decision is made. The right decision. It's almost like that message, well, not message, but that writing when we're in our vehicles and we got that rearview mirror and it said things are closer than they appear. But it's also another way of saying sometimes things aren't as they appear. I can't speak for anyone else, but me, myself, I believe in Jesus Christ. So I was raised, that's what I believe in. None of us are perfect. But I try every day to make sure that I acknowledge him. That's why every time I step in this courtroom, I have my Bible with me everywhere I go. I even read it on breaks, recesses. This is not something that started at the beginning of this incident. This is something that has been instilled in me since I came out of the womb. This is how my family lives their life. This is how we was raised. For whatever mistakes that I myself have made in my life, I've made peace with God. Made peace. I'm happy to say that my conscience is clear. And because I believe, I trust him with my life.
Yes, you heard that right. His conscience is clear. He has made peace with God. I don't know what it is about people that go to prison. They all of a sudden find religion, and supposedly that's how they were raised, and they're reading the Bible, and it was instilled in him from the womb. And then you think about their crimes, and you're like, well, somewhere in that Bible, doesn't it say, thou shalt not kill? Like, I don't get it. Don't use the word to try to play on people's emotions as if you're some reformed man or there's no way you could have done it because you're a Christian. That is just disgusting. And then to say you made your peace with God and your conscience is clear must be nice to have a clear conscience while these people are hurting and hardened and sad and suffering from medical ailments, mental health issues because of your actions. This guy is such a fool. Let me just say that clearly he got life. He was found guilty. This man got life and like 76 additional life sentences or something like that. Let me take a minute because I'm clearly getting flustered. Okay. So he got sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. times 6. 6 life terms, plus more than another 700 additional years in prison. And in my opinion, that's still not enough time. That's not enough time. So, some of the family of the victims decided to speak and, brought up how he said that, his conscience is clear. Like, these people are hurt. They are emotionally distraught. He even laughed at one of the other family members when they were giving their victim impact statement. I don't see how he could say his conscience is clear when he doesn't even have one. But that's just me. This dude, I don't know. This is when I feel like other means of life should be taken into consideration. Go back to the old days. Let's do some stoning or something. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. But what I do know is this guy just does not deserve to have the taxpayers pay for him to live in prison, eat in prison, sleep in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are 6 lives that's lost, and he still draws breath. And that, to me, is a problem.
Court, if I may, really quick, pertaining to the last speaker, I have an issue with, if it pleases the court, we can address it later, or if you want to address it now, I'm
Mr.
not
Brooks,
sure.
these are sentencing remarks. I'm not going to interrupt those sentencing remarks to have you address him individually.
No, I'm not talking about addressing him individually.
Mr. Brooks, we're going to continue. I'm not sure what you could possibly bring to the court's attention about a speaker who's already made a statement.
A very valid issue that I can bring to the
You
court.
can put it in writing, sir, while you're sitting there, and if it's something I need to address, I will. But I'm not going to disrupt what's happening right now to address that. You need to put it in writing. All right, go ahead, Ms.
So, put it in writing that
Mr. Brooks, please put it in writing.
that's
If you
the
need some
same.
paper,
That's the
then-
same person you had to worked with the father of, right?
Go ahead, Ms. Dunn.
Like I
The
said, the same
record
person.
speaks for itself. All of those issues were previously put on the record. There's no need for you to make any
That is him
commentary
though,
about
right?
it.
You did work with his father though, right?
Mr. Brooks, stop. If you interrupt me again, you're gonna risk going into the other courtroom. I'm not gonna have
So
you
you gonna hold me in
degrade
contempt?
the integrity of these proceedings.
I'm not
and the
attempting to
solemnity
cause
of
a
what's going on
controversy. I
right
just
now
wanted to know
by
that.
once again trying to derail what's happening and
And
take
you
the
always
focus
talk
off of
about somebody trying to derail something as if that was the plan, like somebody coming here
Mr.
to
Brooks, I'm
derail
advising
something.
you to be quiet or I will clear this courtroom, and under Illinois versus Allen, you will lose your right to be present while the remainder of these individuals give their statements.
Okay, well, come on with it.
Once they start, I expect you to be
Come
quiet.
on with it, because that's what you've been waiting to do the whole time.
Piece of shit. Listen up and listen what she has to say.
All right.
God damn.
Sir, you're going to have to be removed. I'm sorry. I can't tolerate that from anyone. Mr. Brooks, my admonishment to you is the next person's going to get up and they're going to start their statement. And if
Okay, yeah, but you
interrupt-
made it seem like I'm trying to purposely interrupt that,
Mr. Brooks,
and I don't think
I'm
that's
turning
fair
to
to
them.
do that.
Please be quiet.
Okay, yeah, I still have the First Amendment right to be heard and to speak. I still have that right.
Mr. Brooks, this is a sentencing hearing.
I don't
The
care
trial
what it is. You're not
All
gonna
right.
continue.
He is arguing
You're
with
not-
me. He is now forfeited
You're not
his
gonna
right to be
continue.
present.
You're
Everyone
not
is to
gonna
clear the courtroom
continue.
while he's moved to the next courtroom, and I'll make the appropriate findings when I'm able to do that
So
without
can I get a
interruption.
finding of fact? Can I get a
I'm
legal
stepping
finding
off.
of
Oh, you guys thought because he was found guilty, he was going to stop with his shenanigans? Yeah, right. anything to seriously disrupt the integrity of the courtroom. He's trying to find grounds for appeal, I'm sure. But I'm going to tell you, whoever that was screaming in the background is my hero, because I've been wanting to scream that since I've been doing these videos and the entire time I was watching the case. Thank goodness I live in my grandparents' house because, well, let's just say I don't talk like that here. This man has no sense about him. He has no empathy, care, compassion. There's not one tinge of guilt or remorse or anything. This is the Darrell Brooks show. Well, not anymore. We're going to remember those that have lost their lives because of you. You get damn near 1,000 years in jail. You're not going to live that long. Thank goodness. I would just like to take the time and pay my respects to the family of Leanna Owen, 71, Tamara Durand, 52, Virginia Sorensen, 79, Wilhelm Hospel, 81, Jane Culici, 52, and the young Jackson Sparks, 8 years old. Thank you all for being here today. This was just a tragedy like no other. I'm really at a loss for words that he could act this way, knowing that these are the 6 lives that he took. Mothers, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, grandfather, a father, an uncle, a brother, a son, a friend, a sibling. This is just, it's tragic. And I hope that Darrell Brooks lives the rest of his days in hell. Okay, guys, I know it's kind of harsh, this last video, but that is it of our Darrell Brooks series. Thank goodness, because this man, he made me find anger I never knew I had. That's probably not good. But this next subject, it's very different. I'm really not sure if it's a true crime or a story time. I mean, true crime because cops are involved, but if I tell you anything, I'd be giving it away. So you'll just have to wait until whenever these go up. I'm not even going to lie because I'm trying to be ahead of the game. I can't keep telling you guys, oh, be consistent, and then be gone for 3 weeks, come back. So I'm just going to start being ahead of the game here. Just to ensure that any family things that I'm doing, you know, being caregivers to my grandparents or my own medical, my family's, you know, medical, you know, things like that, isn't being put on the back burner while I do this. I love doing this, honestly. It's just fun for me. The situations aren't fun. So please don't mistake what I'm saying, but, you know, to be able to view footage, dissect it, let a little bit of my personality come out. I will say that I've noticed that I'm loosening up quite a bit compared to my first couple of videos. So hopefully soon, you know, you guys can actually see a little bit more of my personality. It really is strange to me to see myself while I'm talking. So I look away a lot. I don't know. I just find it odd. Maybe it's something that'll grow on me, though. Maybe it's something that I can get used to. I do, however, like the voiceovers better, like when there's a picture and I'm talking. because then I'm not looking at myself. Maybe because it feels like I'm talking to myself when I look at myself. I don't know. It does make me feel a tad bit on the crazy side, but until next time, friends, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.